What's up, gamers? Welcome to the Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning demo for episode number 42 of Level Up. I'm your host, Zach Sharps, as always, and this is a game that I've been waiting for quite some time, probably about 3 or 4 months or so. Ever since I saw a video about it, I was hooked, and this is an action RPG that is by far, I fell in love with it today. I actually played it on the stream. If you guys don't know, I do have a stream now. Hit me up at twitch.tv/Lugo Entertainment. Every time that there is a video posted about the stream, I am live. I make sure to update Facebook and Twitter first, because obviously it processes, doesn't have to process anything. So make sure you follow me on facebook.com/Lugo Entertainment and twitter.com/Zach Sharps to get updates when I go live. I typically try to go live during the evenings, like around 4 to around 8. Today I got off at around 7 just because the demo froze up, so I was like, alright, not gonna do this anymore, and decided to go eat dinner. But anyways, let's get started. Click play story mode. We can't do hard, so we have to do normal. Alright, the Fey Weavers noticed that you previously completed the Whale of Souls. Would you like to skip ahead to the All-Star Glade? Skip ahead, that way we don't have to worry about the tutorial. That is so ever so annoying. Alright, so I'm going to be shutting up every time that I talk to someone. I'm going to spend about 15 minutes checking this game out. This is not an MMO, this is an action RPG. Be warned, this is probably the only action RPG that I will take a look at for Level Up, just because I love this game so much. Anyways, we got the male, the female, typical stuff here. Then we got our different races. We got the Almain, which are basically warlike people. We have the Varani, the Legislalarva, whatever the hell their names are, and the Dokkarlofar. Weird names as they keep going down, but anyways, I'm gonna be the Docs. Let's just call them the Docs, just because of the fact that they have Sagecraft, Persuasion, and Stealth bonuses for their racials. That's what I've been doing recently. Alright, let's click continue. And we're going to see that we have Wisdom, Love, Death, Fate, Mischief, and None. Basically, what god you decide to pray to. The goddess of wisdom and art, the goddess of love and beauty, god of death, the goddess of fate, magic, and luck, or the god of mischief. I'm going to pick death just because I'm going to be a ranger / sort of rogue. So I'm going to need the crit chance and the crit hit damage. So let's get started and go to death. Continue. People be messaging me in Skype all of a sudden. I don't know why. Must be popular or something. Anyways, we're just going to go ahead and do a presets, which you actually have to do because you have to get to edit it. And as you see, there is a bunch of different ways you can edit this. You can do the face, the skin tone. I'm going to change skin tone to a little bit more tan instead of like a pale tan. Go ahead, eye color, I'm just going to put it the blue, eyeshadow, you can do stuff like that. You also have the hair, you can change the hair colors, stuff like that, your facial hair, your accessories, tattoos, tattoo intensity, stuff like that. There's a lot of different variations to choose from, probably around 200 to 300, if not more variations, to choose from, so you're not going to look the same as everybody else if you compare two screens. Because like I said, this is not an MMO, so it's not like you can play around and see what everyone looks like. But yeah, so we are in the Alistar Glade. We acquired weapons, armor, and stuff like that. Since we did not do the tutorial to get those things, we are allowed to get them right now. So as you see, this is your basic interface. By pressing escape, you will be able to view this. You got your level up, you got your inventory, your quests, abilities, destinies, moves, status, map, options, and exit. Let's check out the map, see how big the map is. Let's go to the world map. And as you see, the world map is quite big. It's very big, all open world. It's a linear style open world, but it's pretty much open world. You'll see what I mean by linear open world. Like, think Fable: The Lost Chapters, but not as linear. Like more open world. That's what you get in Kingdoms of Amalur, which is really awesome. Because of the way, this world is laid out. It's such a beautiful world. Anyways, we're going to hit level up, and I'm going to show you guys the trees. Anyways, this is your basic tree for, your, I guess you could say, social skills, your stealth, your blacksmithing, detect hidden, dispelling, Stuff like that is very important in this game. Lockpicking especially is important for unlocking chests and stuff. Merchant tile to buy and sell stuff. You know, persuasion to persuade different NPCs. You know, a lot of different things are very important in this game. I'm going to get stealth. That way I get stealth when I attack people and steal stuff. And we're going to go ahead and click confirm. If you guys don't already know, Kingdoms of Amalur is a dumbed-down version of Skyrim, but I wouldn't really necessarily want to call that. It has better combat than Skyrim, in my opinion. It's not full range, but it's more fluid and responsive than Skyrim. It also has, I guess you could say, it has a better world style. It has more of a complete world rather than just, you know, one entire just land. It's an actual world instead of just a land like Skyrim is. And I'm not really hitting on, you know, Skyrim at all. I love Skyrim a lot. It's a very great game. But Kingdoms of Amalur builds off of that and says, hey, what can we do to sort of close people more in, have more of a broader scale to approach to, and give a little bit more variation of terrain. And they take that and turn it into a larger, full-scale world. So we're going to go to our inventory, weapons, and you have a primary and secondary that I can scroll between two. So let's go to our primary, and we're going to do some crude iron daggers as our primary. Click back, and go to our secondary, and get a, let's go ahead and get a crude birch longbow. It seems like a good idea to have a longbow and daggers. Alright, so you do not need arrows in this game if you're wondering that. Also armor, let's go ahead and get the dented cuirass. And rusty gauntlets, and rusty leggings, and flimsy greaves, and equip the shield as well. Because you can block even though you have, you know, daggers. It's really cool. I'll show you guys that in a second. Then you have your moves. Each of them give your different combos, and what you can do. It's pretty cool. You have a lot of different spells that you get to be able to do in this game that allow you to do different magical attacks and stuff. Alright, so we got everything set up like this. As you see, the attacking is very fluid. You know, it's not necessarily full action, but it's mostly a fully action RPG style combat. You know, you're going to fight yourself through, you know, different mobs. Stuff is breakable. You can roll. You can't jump. Only in certain situations you can jump. You know, different stuff. Actually has collision. You don't walk through stuff. You also have magical attacks by right-clicking. And you can choose your magical attacks through 1 through 10. You know, you scroll to the bow and arrow and shoot some bows and arrows. You know, stuff like that. And then you can also, I'm not going to do it right now because it's bad. You could attack people. Anything in this game you can kill. You don't have to worry about killing the wrong thing. I mean, well, you do, but most of the times it does respawn. So you don't have to worry about that. So the way this game works is basically it is a free open world sandbox for you to explore and to sort of go through. Now, this game is not final. It is in demo. It releases, I believe I saw February the 7th or something like that. You can kill critters too. Let me go over here and kill this guy for you. And achievement unlocked. Sopa pissed. I'm not Sopa. Sopa. Why did I say Sopa? Sopa. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. PETA. Tried to take a quote from my chat earlier today, and I couldn't even freaking execute it properly. The person who was watching, who was in the stream, will know exactly where that came from and know that I completely epically failed and laugh his ass off. But anyways, there's also gathering in this game. You can just go around and gather stuff all you want. Or you can just terrorize towns the entire time. You know, it really doesn't matter. First off, I do want to mention that this is a free downloadable trial on the Steam Marketplace. You basically download it, have an hour to play it, and the conversations do not count. Like, when it comes to conversation and dialogue, does not count for your hour. Anyways, here's the voice acting.
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agar. Maybe you can help an old fate weaver, eh?
Alright, so as you see, we have our different choices. Now, I'm not really sure how much these affect your play throughout the entire story, or if they even do, but there is certain things that do provoke action, such as persuasion, treachery, stuff like that. That is basically by context, and they're normally lit up as well. So you just want to sort of pick what you want to go through, and different chat sequences are provoked out of that. So let's just go with Hugh sent me to find you.
Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now. When he started his experiments here, he asked me if they'd ever be successful. The cards told me that the Well of Souls would work, but its success would come on the day that Hughes was to die. The old man took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that.
Alright, so here's our first persuasion little chat bubble. As you see, we could just do I just woke up at the tower. Can you give me some help? That's okay, I was dead too. So let's just go ahead and do the can you give me some help and hope that it works.
I suppose I could spare a
Persuasion
little help
succeeded.
in memory of Hughes, or in celebration of his success. Whichever.
Alright, so basically what that did is it provoked him to give us some greater mana regen potions and health potions. So that sort of is the persuasion factor of this game. You could persuade people to do things for you, give things to you, help out, stuff like that. And that provides a great dynamic in the chat sequences that allow you to sort of pay attention. So let's just go, that's okay, I was okay,
You're
dude.
the one.
I was dead too.
Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
Alright, so through different chat sequences, you also do have, attack sequences, stuff like that as well. You're never completely safe when you're doing in chat sequences. Stuff can happen. This is a fully dynamic world that evolves around you. Stuff can trigger different things, to trigger different events, to trigger different chat sequences, stuff like that. There's a lot of different area of action areas in this game, which basically means that in different areas, certain things will happen. Alright, so another cool thing that I want to show you guys is the Fate meter. And the Fate meter basically allows you to do Reckoning mode. And it's a very interesting and awesome dynamic for you to look at. So let's go ahead and do the hold X to harness and kick ass. Alright, let's keep... Alright, I need to get out. It's not going to let me... I need to hold X. Keep holding X. I'm holding X. Okay. Okay. It's not going to let me do it until I get out of harm. And for some reason, it does not understand that.
You're going to burn.
Alright, so I just need to hold X and... like I said, this is a beta. You got to worry about different things like this. It's not a beta, it's a demo. But you just got to worry about different bugs like that was a bug. For example, let's see if I can activate it right now. There we go. Alright, here we go. This is your Reckoning mode. Reckoning mode, it basically slows down time. It makes you a hell of a lot stronger. And when you're able to, you could also do finishing moves like that. That's an execution. And the more you press the time action, the more stuff happens as well. So, for example, like what I just saw right there, it says spacebar. The more I tap that, the more it does the action. So that's a really cool, interesting dynamic to do. Let's see if we can get this one right. Alrighty, let's see what it does. Spacebar, 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 spacebar. Bam! Alright, so that does a lot of damage, and it's a really cool dynamic. Each of them are different, and they provide you a different opportunity to change. Now, you are going to see a little frame drops here and there, because I do have everything maxed out. But other than that, the game does perform very, very well. So it's a very smooth performing game.
The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that? You just... Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death. That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes. You're nervous. Relax. This is what fate weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or At least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much. I am. But still, I've never seen someone whose fate was just missing. Not even when I was drunk as the King of Ballads. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine.
And that is the next interesting dynamic in Kingdoms of Amalur, is basically your fate system. The different destinies that you get to go through. And as you see, we have our destiny screen, we have unlocked destinies, and then we have the ones that we can unlock later on. So say for example, we go to, say, Finesse. We can unlock Scout, Hunter, Ranger, all these different types of destinies we can end up doing based off of what tree we go into. If we look right here, it says Finesse 76. That means that we need 76 points inside our fate tree. So it allows us to sort of expand our character even more. So we have our initial starting trees, which is our crafting and our just minor social trees. Then we have our main specking trees that allow us to go might, finesse, or to sorcery. And then we have our destinies. And destinies are very interesting because they allow you to do different things. They allow you to get increased damage on certain things and allow you to level up your character in a different dynamic. So let's go ahead and pick Rogue. And then confirm. And that will allow us to be a Rogue spec. So it'll allow us to, once we expand on our finesse tree, it will allow us to expand our character even more with the moves he does, and also the actions he's allowed to do. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue the dialogue of this chat.
It could mean nothing, or it could mean everything. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that, or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower.
Another thing, when you're in different chat sequences, you also have different things. You can unlock different lore, figure out different things to sort of expand your horizons on the knowledge of this world. Like, for example, I can ask him about Agarth, I can ask him about Arden, I can ask him about the Fates some more, Fate Weavers, Hugues. I can ask him about all these different things to expand my knowledge of this world. Here's an example.
Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the Blade of Avgrum. I wrestled the Colossus Priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight.
See, so that allowed us to sort of learn a little bit more about this character that we're talking to right now. That's one of the things that I loved about Skyrim, and the things that I love about Kingdoms of Amalur is the fact that you can learn more about the world if you choose to. The lore is there, but it's not shoved in your face where you have to learn about it. And that provides an interesting dynamic for you, the person who's playing it, because if you want to take that extra mile and step into the story, you can, but if you don't want to, it's not shoved in your face, and allows you to progress through the game how you want to, and how you want to sort of see how the world is and how it will react to yourself and your actions. So let's go ahead and pick What's Wrong with My Fates to continue our quest line.
That's just it. I don't know if you've got one, but that's why we're going to see Arden. He lives in a little hut to the east in Yulven. I'll meet you there. What could this
Alright, so once we click escape and goodbye, we also get something that's really cool. So if you end up playing the demo, you could unlock stuff like bonus items, like it says right here. Item rewarded. Congratulations, Fateless One. You've unlocked the Infernal Helm for use in Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. This item will be in the special deliveries chest in Gorehalt Village when you purchase your copy of Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. So you get a free item just for purchasing the game if you play the demo. which is a very interesting thing, and I wish a lot more games would play it. And also, it's a timed trial. You don't have to worry about it stopping you at any point. You now have 45 minutes to explore Aldarth in the lands of Dalanthar. That is pretty awesome, and it pauses during conversations, so you do not have to worry about it screwing up your time if you look through all the different lore pieces and stuff like that. You can progressively move through the story how you want to during the demo and get as much of it as you want and deserve to get to see if you want to end up buying this game, which is another reason why I definitely want you guys to check it out, because it's a very great experience to go through, and I think it's going to be a very enormously great game once it's released. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and actually use a health potion really quick, use the Dollar Stone, and this is a lore stone. You find every lore stone to set a permanent bonus to your character.
The pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
Alright, so that little sequence went off. Like I said, it's a dynamic world. Like right here, we're going to step into a town hall meeting. So hopefully you guys will enjoy listening to this as I step into the town.
Everyone just stand back. The warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
Alright, so as you see, even though that was just a short sequence, stuff like that throughout the world definitely makes it more lively. Even though it's not really that much, it does allow you to sort of engulf yourself into the story. And we could choose to do these optional quests, or we can just move along to the main story, which is actually what we'll be doing just for this video. But I do recommend you check out these side quests, because they do have a great amount of story for you to engulf yourself into. Also, when you're in towns, you can actually turn yourself against everybody. There's a mode called aggressive mode that you can activate, I believe, by pressing H. Actually, no, it's X. Is it X? I believe it's X. Anyways, when you go to your aggressive mode, you can attack everybody in the village. You can kill everybody in the village. And these guys aren't necessarily that hard. If you watch during my live stream, you'll notice that these guys are easy to kill, and you can loot all their stuff and get good gear, and you're not really that penalized for it. If you go to jail, they don't take anything but experience away from you. So if you get an epic piece of loot from killing a mob, you don't have to worry about it. You just, like, whatever, and just equip it and move along. So, as far as the penalties go in this game, I'm not sure if it scales per difficulty, like if it gets up to hardcore, you have more penalties and stuff like that, or not. But in at least normal difficulty, you don't have to really worry too much about your different penalties that can invoke your character into a descent that you don't want to go into. So anyways, as you move through the world, like I said, there's different things that happen, such as different mobs that do pop out and want to attack you. This is just the dynamic world working against you. And I used the world dynamic very loosely, because the world changes around you, so that's what I mean by dynamic. I don't mean like the world like physically changes, like mountains grow and, volcanoes happen, stuff like that. But I mean events happen that allow the world to seem lively. Something that we see missed a lot in RPGs like this. Like, for example, a good example is new Lord of the Rings game. I felt that was a very bad example of how you make a world seem lively. Another thing, you could dodge attacks. You don't have to worry about just being locked in if an arrow flies at you. You can move out of the way and dodge those arrows. The looting system is very cool too. If there's no loot on an enemy, you don't have to loot it. You just move along and go to your quest objective. The world itself is very beautiful. As you see, the world is very, I guess you could say, cartoonish, but in the sense that it sort of feels like Fable. If you've ever played Fable: The Lost Chapters, that is definitely what I think it looks like, except for a lot more updated, higher-res graphics, and a lot more lively, and a lot huger as well. It's more of a sandbox rather than a linear landscape for you to sort of push yourself into and get a story out of. This sort of allows you to sort of make your own story, go through the side quests that you want to, rather than trapping you inside of one story that you may or may not end up liking. May end up quitting halfway through. Oh, this story's stupid. In this game, at least you could do side quests that will allow you to sort of get a little bit more out of it than you would, say, Fable or, any other linear RPG that's out there. Alright, so my overall impressions for this game. my overall impressions, if you're watching the stream, I'm blown away by this game. I love it to death. I can't wait for it to come out. I might even get the collector's edition if they have one. You know, it just has a lot of great features to it that I think a lot of people would enjoy and definitely value to have, because it sort of has the art style of, say, you know, Zelda mixed with Fable, you know, and then it has the gameplay of, you know, Zelda mixed with Fable mixed with not Oblivion but Skyrim. You know, it has a bunch of these different things, and even though it does have its flaws, like you just saw texture tear, you know, that's minor things. You know, it doesn't really take you out of the world too much. And typically you only get texture tears when your computer is performing badly, like mine is right now, because I'm trying to capture this very beautiful world for you guys to look at while, you know, doing a video. You know, it's just very hard for my computer to keep up. So that's why my textures are tearing. But when I wasn't recording, when I was playing this game, I was getting no texture tears whatsoever. Like I said, and there's also different things throughout this world. You know, that's dynamic events. Like that guy walks around trying to find someone to help him out. You know, there's just different things like that throughout the world that will allow you to sort of expand your knowledge of this world and allow you to do different things rather than just go on the main quest. You know, that's what I feel is really bad about a lot of games, is there's just a main quest. You know, there needs to be side quests to sort of allow the player who wants to learn more, and that's what Kingdoms of Amalur, at least in the demo, does very well. And I think that this is the type of demo that I love to see. I like to see demos where I can experience the full game, you know, in a time period of time where there's no restrictions on how far I go, but as far as I get depends on how fast I can get through the game. And that is really cool to see in trials, especially of new games, because I think that's what creates a lot of piracy, is the fact that there is no demos like this that allow you to see the full game, to explore the entire world without being locked into a specific storyline. Like, typically, you would see just the tutorial as the demo. What's that supposed to show you? Just like what you're supposed to be able to do? That shows you nothing. It doesn't show you real gameplay. You know, I went on a tangent about this in the actual stream. You know, my beliefs on piracy may be a little skewed from what everyone else is, but I just think that if the developers did a better job of providing a good demo like this, I think it would be avoided almost 50%. Avoided completely? No, because there's other factors. But I think Kingdoms of Amalur does a great job of providing itself a great opportunity in this gaming market that is wanting a lot more action RPG elements engulfed into their gameplay experience. So if you want to check out Kingdoms of Amalur, make sure to go on Steam and get the demo. I do highly recommend it. It is a great demo to sort of go through, and it'll give you a good idea if you want to buy the game or not. Anyways, guys, I'm your host, Zach Sharps, and this has been episode number 42 of Level Up, and this has been Kingdoms of Amalur, one of my favorite games to launch in February, and hopefully I will get the shot to basically buy it and do a release day video for you guys. Also, make sure to check out Facebook at facebook.com/Lugo Entertainment, twitter.com/Zach Sharps, and also follow me on my stream as well at twitch.tv/Lugo Entertainment. All those links will be down in the description. And if you want to be notified directly when I'm going streaming, make sure you follow me on these social media networks. That way you can make sure that you know when I'm going to be live immediately instead of having to wait for a video to process or a video to be uploaded. Because I will be going live a lot more frequently throughout 2012. So hopefully you guys will join me in those chat rooms and enjoy watching me play different various games and show you guys different behind the scenes looks, different things. Anyways, guys, this has been episode number 42. I don't want to ramble anymore. So the question of the day is, do you prefer action MMOs over hotkey MMOs? Or in this situation, do you prefer action RPGs over just typical, you know, I guess you could say full control RPGs, like having like a crosshair to shoot stuff, or do you just prefer having this sort of locked in style, or is the full control? So that's your question of the day. Let me rephrase it for you so it's a little bit more smooth. Do you prefer locked in style action RPGs like this, where it does sort of lock you in a little bit, or do you prefer full control, sort of like Skyrim, where it's a crosshair? Leave your comments down in the comment section below. I will be very curious to see what you guys have to say. And remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Catch you guys next time.